So I'm actually going to give you an overview of the expectations for the interpreter course. It will actually start on February 14th, which I'm sure you will all remember. And the course is on demand and at your own pace, and it closes on September 30th. Reviewing all the work that you've submitted and providing certificate of completion, no grades, as well as Midas credit, will be done by October 15th. The next cohort will start applications will go out in January, and then the next year's cohort will start also on February 14th. There will be Zoom meetings, and all of this will go out in emails for a chance for us to have conversations. And the reason that's important is that attendance in the Zoom meetings, they will be recorded on a special playlist, and that also will be sent out, as well as instructions on how to register for the USBE Canvas course. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview, and this will be on the playlist and sent out to everybody. So the level 1 USBE interpreter certificate really focuses on two areas. And the first one is a really important one, and probably the best thing nationally that Utah has done for students learning English. The requirements listed in HB 302, which is now state law, required every local education agency, which includes districts and charters, a language access policy to ensure that families can get the best information about their child's education. So that's like the first purpose. The second purpose is the standards of practice with really clear performance objectives and ethical principles. That's a guide for every interpreter to actually understand and deliver quality interpretation services. So the level 1 basically is two parts. The first one is Zoom on the interpreter playlist, and each Wednesday evening, starting February 7th until March 27th. There'll be a recorded introductory conversation with all participants, including colleagues throughout the state who are co-teachers. So the reason this is important is that there's an actual upload to the interpreter playlist, and everybody will have access to each session, even though you might not be able to attend the Zoom meetings. So the big thing is to record your own attendance by using, a journal with brief comments about the meeting related to things that are the most important to you. So a sentence or two, it'd be something like, I attended the first Zoom meeting, and this is the most important thing that I learned. And then at the end of the course, you will actually upload that into the Canvas USB system. And if you're not familiar with that, don't worry, because we have great technical assistance. And the biggest thing is to make sure that you read your emails. And if you have questions, you can also email me. Again, the whole point of this is flexible scheduling and trying to support every single person who applied. So we actually now have, I think, 100 applicants, which is really important. Many of you are interested in the advanced course, which would probably happen next year, based on a particular criteria, since we have limited funding. It's an outside company that does interpretation training for community interpreters. which is about oral interpretation. So interpretation means oral communication. Translation is written, but we're only focusing on oral interpretation based on the mandates that have been legislated as state law, the different contexts, which at the first Zoom meeting I will go over and be open to questions. So I just want to thank each of you, you know, for applying and your commitment to students and their parents in the educational system for them to actually have opportunities and access to everything that regular students have, including advanced coursework, CTE courses, so that parents actually better understand the way in which they can influence policies and practices for their students' success. So my name is Christelle Estrada. Please just call me Christelle. I think the biggest issue is that, you know, access for every single student in Utah is a priority, and the way in which parents are engaged is also a priority. And the legislation that was passed in 2022 is a great example of this. So thank you again for your commitment, your dedication, and the way in which you want to support your children as well as other children and teens in Utah to have quality educational experiences.